Hi everyone, I'm so happy you're here. Don't forget to subscribe for more great stories. Lena Walker was 10 years old and lived in the quiet town of Maplewood. Nothing much ever happened there. The houses were neat, the trees were tall, and the ice cream shop still sold cones for just $1. Every afternoon after school, Lena walked to the town park. She liked to sit on her favorite bench near the big oak tree. She'd watch the ducks in the pond, wave at the old man who fed squirrels, and listen to the wind rustling through the leaves. That day, the sky was bright blue and the clouds looked like cotton candy. Lena skipped along the path, her backpack bouncing on her shoulders. But when she reached her favorite bench, she stopped. There was something new. Sitting right in the middle of the bench was a small blue backpack. Lena looked around. The park was quiet. A few kids played on the swings, and Mrs. Palmer was walking her poodle. But no one seemed to be looking for a backpack. Lena stepped closer. The backpack was a little dusty, but it looked clean and neat. There was a tiny patch sewn on the front pocket. It was shaped like a rainbow. She touched the strap. "Hello?" she called. "Did someone forget this?" No one answered. Lena sat down beside the backpack and waited. Maybe someone would come running back for it. Maybe a kid just went to the bathroom or left it by mistake. But after 10 minutes, no one came. Lena looked at the bag again. "Well," she said softly, "maybe I can help it get home." And just like that, her normal day became something new. Chapter 2. The Backpack. Lena picked up the little blue backpack and placed it gently on her lap. It wasn't very heavy. She looked around one more time, just in case someone came running toward her. But still, no one seemed to notice or care. "I guess I should see what's inside," she whispered. She carefully unzipped the main pocket. Inside, there were only a few things, but they were all very curious. First, she pulled out a small sketchbook. The pages were filled with pencil drawings, mostly of animals. There were cats curled in balls, birds flying in the sky, and one very cute puppy with floppy ears. Next, she found a smooth glass marble, green with a swirl of gold inside. It sparkled when the sun hit it. Then she saw a photo, a printed picture of a dog sitting in the grass. On the back, someone had written in neat, curly letters, "Toffee, my best friend." Lena smiled. "Toffee is a cute name," she said. There was also a crumpled note tucked in the front pocket. It said, "If you find this, maybe you can help. Look around. Ask questions. Some stories are waiting to be told." Lena blinked. That didn't sound like something someone just accidentally left behind. Was this a mystery? She zipped the bag closed and stood up. "I guess I'm helping now," she said with a grin. She decided to take the backpack home. If no one had claimed it by tomorrow, she'd start asking around. Someone had to know who it belonged to. As she walked down the park path, Lena didn't notice the old man by the tree smiling to himself. He had seen the backpack too, and he knew a little more than he let on. Chapter 3. The clues begin. The next morning, Lena woke up early. The little blue backpack sat on her desk, just where she'd left it. The note inside still made her curious. Look around. Ask questions. Some stories are waiting to be told. She packed it carefully in her own school bag and headed out the door with toast in her hand. At school, she asked a few kids during recess, "Have you seen this backpack before?" She asked Molly, who was really good at remembering things. Molly shook her head. "Nope. It's cute, though. I like the rainbow patch." Lena asked Jaden, who lived near the park. "I don't think it's from our school," he said, shrugging. After school, Lena didn't go straight home. Instead, she walked into Mr. Bean's bakery, where the smell of fresh cinnamon rolls always made her smile. Mr. Bean was wiping the counter. He was round and jolly, with flour on his apron and a voice like a warm drum. Hello there, Lena. What can I get you today? I'm not here for a snack, she said, holding up the backpack. I found this in the park yesterday. Do you know who it might belong to? Mr. Bean leaned over the counter and looked closely. I don't think I've seen it before, he said. But that rainbow patch reminds me of something. A girl used to come in here after school. Always wore a jacket with a rainbow on the back. Lena's eyes lit up. Do you remember her name, Mr. Bean scratched his chin. It's been a while, maybe a year. She moved away, I think. Quiet girl. Liked blueberry muffins. Lena thanked him and made a mental note. Find out who the rainbow girl was. Next, she visited the town library. Miss Clara, the librarian, was very smart and seemed to know everything about everyone. Miss Clara adjusted her glasses as Lena showed her the backpack. Ah, what a lovely little bag, she said. But no, I haven't seen it before. Though that sketchbook reminds me, there was a child who used to sit in the corner and draw animals for hours. Lena leaned in. Do you know who? I believe her name was Ava, Miss Clara said. She didn't talk much, but her drawings were beautiful. Ava, Lena repeated. Did she move away too? I think so. Her family left quite suddenly. It was a bit mysterious. Lena's heart raced. Now she had a name. The backpack might belong to Ava, the girl with the rainbow jacket who loved to draw and had a dog named Toffee. As Lena walked home, she noticed something different. People were starting to pay attention. They were smiling at her, offering ideas, and helping however they could. It felt good, like she was part of something bigger than just finding a lost backpack. She didn't know it yet, but this little mystery was going to change her life. Chapter 4. Friendship Grows. The next day after school, Lena sat at the park with the backpack on her lap again. She stared out at the pond, thinking about Ava and Toffee, who had written the note. Why leave the backpack behind? Just then, she noticed a boy sitting under the tree near her bench. He looked about her age, with messy brown hair and a notebook in his lap. He was drawing. Lena scooted closer. Hi, she said. The boy looked up. Hi. Are you drawing animals? He nodded. Birds. I like how they move. They're never still. Lena smiled. I found this, she said, showing him the blue backpack. There's a sketchbook inside. It has animals, just like yours. The boy's eyes widened. Can I see? Lena handed over the sketchbook. He flipped through the pages slowly, like he was holding treasure. These are really good, he whispered. Someone really cared about these drawings. Lena nodded. I'm trying to find out who it belongs to. I think her name was Ava. Do you know her? He thought for a moment. No, but maybe I can help. I like mysteries. Lena smiled. I'm Lena. Max, the boy said. Nice to meet you. From that day on, Lena and Max met at the park every afternoon. They asked more people, looked for more clues, and even went to the town hall one day to ask about people who had moved away. Most days, they didn't find anything new, but Lena didn't mind. She had a new friend, someone who listened, and wondered, and believed the little blue backpack had a story to tell. One day, while they were sitting near the swings, Max said, Do you ever think maybe we weren't supposed to find out who owns it? Lena tilted her head. What do you mean? Well, what if the backpack found you? Lena blinked. She hadn't thought of it that way. I guess, either way, I'm glad it did, she said. Max smiled and nodded. Me too. The mystery wasn't solved yet, but Lena had already found something important, someone who understood her. And that made the adventure even better. Chapter 5. Almost there. A week had passed since Lena found the little blue backpack, and now her room looked like a detective's office. Sticky notes were on the wall. A map of the town had tiny red stars on it, one for the park, one for the bakery, one for the library, and right in the center of her desk was the backpack itself, still holding the sketchbook, the marble, and the photo of Toffee. Lena and Max had talked to everyone they could think of. But then, something new happened. Max brought her a flyer he'd found in the back of a library book. "I was flipping through this old art book," he said, "and this fell out." It was a faded piece of paper, an old community newsletter. At the bottom, there was a photo of a girl standing next to a big painting of a dog. The caption said, "Young artist Ava Jensen wins youth art contest with portrait of her dog, Toffee." Lena gasped. "That's her. That's the backpack girl. She must have been here for the art show," Max said. This was from last year. They ran back to the library and showed Miss Clara the flyer. She smiled when she saw it. "Oh yes. I remember now," she said. Ava lived with her grandmother for a little while. They stayed in the yellow house on Maple Lane. Lena's heart jumped. "That's right down the street from me. But I thought they moved away," Max said. "They did," Miss Clara said gently, "rather quickly, too. Her grandmother became ill, and they had to leave to be closer to her family." Lena held the backpack tighter. "So maybe Ava left this on purpose." "That's possible," Miss Clara said. "She might have wanted someone to find it. Maybe even you." That night, Lena couldn't sleep. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about Ava. Why would someone leave behind something so special? Drawings, the photo, the marble? It didn't feel like an accident. And then it hit her. The note. Look around, ask questions. Some stories are waiting to be told. It didn't sound like a goodbye. It sounded like a message. A message for someone who needed to listen. Someone who needed something new in their life. Lena sat up in bed and whispered, what if it was never really lost? The next day, she decided to visit the yellow house on Maple Lane. The windows were dark and the yard was quiet. But something told her this story wasn't over. Chapter 6. The twist. Lena stood in front of the yellow house on Maple Lane. The paint was peeling a little, and the front steps had tiny weeds growing between the cracks. It looked like no one had been there in a while. She walked slowly up to the porch and sat on the top step, holding the blue backpack in her lap. A breeze stirred the leaves in the yard. It was quiet. After a few minutes, the front door opened, not all the way, just a little. A familiar voice called out, "You finally made it." Lena turned quickly. Standing in the doorway was someone she knew. "Grandma?" she said, blinking in surprise. Her grandmother, Nana June, stepped outside and smiled, her gray hair curling softly in the wind. What are you doing here?" Lena asked. "I thought you were visiting Aunt Pam this week." "I was," Nana June said, "but I came back a few days ago. I wanted to see how long it would take you to follow the clues." Lena's eyes widened. "Wait, you left the backpack?" Nana June nodded and sat beside her on the porch. "I did, and I'm very proud of you. But why?" Nana June looked out at the street, then back at Lena. "You've been quiet for a while now. Ever since school started, I saw you sitting alone more often. You didn't seem unhappy. Just waiting, like your world had gotten too small." Lena looked down. That was kind of true. "So," Nana June said, "I created something for you to find. A puzzle. An adventure." I filled the backpack with pieces of a pretend story, sketches I made, a photo of my old dog Toffee, a marble I found in your dad's drawer. Lena's jaw dropped. The whole thing, Ava. The drawings, even the note, all made up. Nana June said kindly. But you made it real. You went looking. You talked to people. You made a new friend. And you even gave Ava a life she never had. Lena felt her cheeks flush. She didn't know whether to be mad or amazed. I really thought it belonged to someone, she said. I know, Nana June said softly. And that's what made it beautiful. Lena sat very still. She had chased a mystery, believed in it, and now it turned out. The whole thing was a gift, not lost at all, but placed gently in her path by someone who loved her. Max helped me, she said after a moment. We did everything together. I'm so glad, Nana June said. Sometimes, a little mystery is all it takes to bring people together. Lena didn't speak for a while. She just hugged the backpack close. It wasn't Ava's anymore. It was hers. And it had changed her in ways she hadn't noticed until now. Chapter 7. A Lesson in Life. The next afternoon, Lena sat on the porch with her grandmother, holding the blue backpack in her lap. The sun was beginning to set, casting a soft golden light over the yard. Max was coming over later to play, and she was excited to tell him everything. I think I finally understand, Lena said, her voice thoughtful. Nana June smiled from her rocking chair. What do you understand, dear? Lena looked down at the little blue backpack. I understand that sometimes, things aren't what they seem. I thought the backpack was lost. But it wasn't. It was meant to be found. Nana June nodded. Exactly. And it wasn't just about the backpack. It was about you learning to trust yourself and others. To step out of your comfort zone and let the world be a little more mysterious. Sometimes, life is full of puzzles. And it's up to us to solve them. Lena smiled slowly. I think that's what the note meant, too. Some stories are waiting to be told. Nana June agreed. The story wasn't just in the backpack. It was in you all along. The way you listened. The way you cared about finding the truth. That's what made the adventure real. Lena nodded. She had learned so much. Not just about finding the owner of the backpack, but about herself. She learned that she could be brave. That asking questions and being kind could lead to new friends and new adventures. Most of all, she learned that sometimes, a little bit of mystery was the key to making life feel exciting again. Max arrived later, his face lighting up when he saw the backpack. Did you find the owner? He asked eagerly. Lena grinned and shook her head. It wasn't about finding someone, Max. It was about finding something inside of me, and realizing that sometimes, we create our own stories. Max raised an eyebrow. Huh. That's deep. Lena laughed. Yeah. I guess it is. That evening, Lena kept the blue backpack beside her bed. It wasn't a mystery anymore, but it was still special. It had been her guide, her little spark of adventure. And in the end, it had brought her closer to the people she cared about. As she closed her eyes that night, Lena smiled, feeling more alive than ever before.